Good morning, Salem, and welcome to the newest edition of SHS Today. My name is Jenna McDowell, and joining me here at the news desk is Lindsay Jones.
This morning we will be discussing Salem High's gymnastics team, CTE programs, and student views on homework. We will also be introducing a new survival guide series and so much more.
But first, to start off today, our very own Ethan and Mike roam the halls of SHS to get personal takes about the start of a new semester and how it impacts the students of Salem High.
How do you feel about the new semester beginning?
I feel confident that I'll pass and hopefully go on to get into another final year of high school.
I'm excited because I get a free block and it's gonna be nice.
How do you feel about your new classes?
Good. I'm starting photography.
Excited. I've always wanted to do wood tech and photography. I always take pictures and stuff, so hopefully I can make art out of it with photos.
Do you think the second semester will be better than the first semester?
Hopefully. I'm hoping to get more A's than I did last semester.
Yeah.
It's tough to tell. I know as the end of the year approaches, I know students and staff get a little more excited. So there is, light at the end of the tunnel regarding the school year. But it's always good to finish a year successfully. So maybe it will be better.
We wish everybody good luck with this new semester and a successful rest of the year.
As the course selections deadline approaches for the upcoming school year, it's important to make sure you are aware of all the programs offered here at Salem High. Sarah and Andrew give us more information on the CTE programs so you can find the perfect fit for you.
So cosmetology is a program where the students can come in and they can work on each other, they can work on doll heads that have human hair, and they can practice skills and techniques to be a cosmetologist, an esthetician, or a barbering. What they'll eventually do is when they get to a post-secondary school, they can apply up to 200 hours for taking the program for 2 years, which will knock off tuition for them if they choose to have a career in this industry. So our program will teach a various amount of different skills. They're going to have to measure out color. They're going to have to talk a lot about numbers and geometry. We're going to have to talk a lot about fractions when it comes to mixing color. We also get into English because we have to write resumes. We do tons of written work as well as hands-on. We also do another aspect of that communication. So how to be a great listener, how to listen to your guests, and how to communicate with people in general. And we also go into depth about being kind to others. We create a community of kindness is what we call it in our classroom. Because it is a higher in demand program, we want to make sure that we have everyone and giving everyone the opportunity to move forward. Once you take level 1, then you can get into level 2. And that is a little bit more smaller group than our level 1s. Once they get through that, then they can graduate and go to post-secondary.
So the teacher preparation program is designed for students who are interested in pursuing some aspect of education after they finish high school. Primarily classroom teaching, but it's not limited to that. If students are interested in pursuing a role in a school that's not a classroom teacher, it would provide those students a great foundation as well. But our primary focal point is on kids who are interested in being classroom teachers. So they have an opportunity to learn all of the pedagogy, but in addition to that, they get a chance to practice and apply that knowledge and that information. So when they're in the classroom, they'll practice writing lesson plans, and then they deliver those lesson plans. So it really gives them a lot of in-class experience. Students in the program also spend a lot of time outside the classroom as well. In the first year, students get to go to classrooms and observe teachers throughout the district. We do that usually about once a month. And then in the second year of the program, students actually serve as interns, and they spend 2 days a week in the same classroom with the same teacher and students, so they really get a chance to become part of the classroom community and work with the teacher and work with the students. So just opportunities galore. Communication skills, because effective teaching really involves being able to speak well and clearly and articulately and effectively. And we actually spend some class time working on those characteristics of effective public speaking. I would say that to teach us organizational skills as well. I think in order to be a good teacher, you need to be organized, and so that's a byproduct of what we do also. And then I guess a third would be just the ability to, work cooperatively with others and create an environment that's open, warm, safe, and comfortable. All of those are high priorities when you're talking about working with students in a classroom, but I also think that those skills are transferable to any variety of situations. So most students who go through the program pursue a 4-year college degree through an accredited university that's got a school of education built in. That way they finish college certified and eligible for state certification, which will allow them to enter the teaching workforce right away.
Looks like there's so many great things going on in all of our CTE programs. It's so great knowing there's a little something for everyone.
Next up, we have Taylor, Alfredo, and Katie interviewing seniors to get some insight on the college application process in our new segment, SHS Today's Survival Guide to High School.
Yo, Stacy, I need your help.
What's wrong, Jeff?
I don't know what to do about this college prep.
I know the perfect people to ask. First up, Jeff, we should ask Grace Lumley.
Okay, awesome.
Hi, I'm Grace Lumley and I'll be majoring in film and TV production. Wanting to apply to college, I think the best thing to do is probably do some research on a bunch of different schools and the majors you're thinking about going into. One thing I wish I would have known before applying to colleges was how long it takes. It takes a lot of effort and time to apply and fill out the applications. I would definitely say go tour campuses. It's really fun and you get to meet a lot of the people who are actually going to the school, and I think it's a good look into what campus life is like and if you're going to enjoy it or not.
And now we're going to go talk to Raul.
Let's do it.
My name is Rahul Rangarajan, and I'm pursuing biomedical engineering. The first thing is look into if that college has a certain major. That I knew there was so much work to do for applying colleges. There's so many essays. There's a lot of research to do within the colleges. Know what major you want to take because it's useful to write about in your Common App essay or the individual supplemental essays that you're gonna have to write for each college.
These tips all seem very handy, and I myself will definitely be using them come senior year.
Next up is another segment of diving into debates. This past week, Evan, Amy, my co-anchor Jenna, and myself interviewed some students at SHS who weighed the pros and cons to answer the question, is homework beneficial?
Hi, I'm Sarah from SHS Today, and in this week's episode of Diving into Debates, we'll be discussing homework and its necessity through the school day.
Contrary to the United States educational track record across its public and private education systems, 93% of Finnish students graduate from high school, as opposed to only 75% in the U.S. It has also been recognized as one of the most successful educational systems in the world. It routinely outperforms the United States in reading, science, and mathematics. Not to mention, Finland was #1 in education as of July 2019, according to Scholastic.com. Those arguing for homework claim this achievement can be credited to many factors, other than just the no homework policy. But let's see what the students of Salem High think about this ongoing debate. Are they for or against homework?
So I am against homework because I feel like it's just sort of more busy work for students, and with their after-school jobs and after-school activities such as sports, I feel like if we do the work in class, then we don't really need the homework so that we can do other stuff after school.
I think homework can be beneficial to students because I feel like repetition and practice really works out for them in the long run. I feel like homework can help them in other aspects of their life. have that willpower to like keep moving and keep improving outside of the classroom. And that's really how you learn things if you think about it. However, there are some negative aspects. For example, when teachers just assign it to assign it, the students, they're not learning anything. And students usually just do homework to get it done rather than they're not concerned about the accuracy of it. And teachers don't check for the accuracy of it, they just check if you did it.
I'm for homework because I think it helps with time management and it helps me practice a lot outside of the classroom, especially for like AP Calc when I have to do 15 problems a night.
I do not like homework because it is stressful and I do not have the time for it. And as well as I already did it at school, so why do I have to do it on my free time?
Contrary to what people usually say about homework in sports and how it doesn't really fit together, I think when I'm in my sports season, when I have homework, I'm more productive doing it because I feel like I have less free time to do whatever else I want to do. So I feel like having homework, I can get it done easier with sports, ironically.
Wow, it's so interesting to see all the different perspectives of students. I definitely don't always enjoy doing homework like many others, but I can certainly see the many positive aspects that can come from it.
Now get ready to flip out over Salem's gymnastics team as Alyssa and Aiden interview these amazing girls who have been busy working hard and preparing for states.
It's been really good. The whole team is nice, and the coaches are really nice, and they really give you corrections. One of the seniors told me about it, and I used to dance with her, and she'd always talk about how much she loved the team. I plan on doing the team throughout high school. If you want to join the team, just try out, and if you don't make it, then just keep trying and keep going and keep working hard. Tryouts was just the same as every other practice, but it just means if you make it or not. But it's easy.
Well, I broke my back a year ago. I had 2 stress fractures on both sides of my L5, and it was pretty tough because gymnastics is obviously a sport I love, and it was really tough because I loved practicing and I couldn't do that anymore. So sadly, last year I missed states, but this year I'm back and better than ever. My experience has been really good. I've made a lot of friends and it's really fun to practice with everybody. I compete on floor and bars, and nothing really big has happened except I've improved a lot this season, which has always been a struggle because bars is my toughest event. Well, like I already said, I've made so many friends, so whenever I go throughout school, like I always see somebody from the team, and it's nice to like have somebody to always have your back and to say hi to. I'm definitely gonna continue throughout the rest of high school. Well, I hope to be well enough so that I can compete all 4 events and do the all-around, and I also hope to become a captain when I'm a senior.
The past 4 years I've had a lot of fun being on this team. I've met a lot of new friends. Upperclassmen, underclassmen. Every year we're so close. I love hanging out with the team. It's just a lot of fun. Yeah, since I was a freshman, I've definitely improved. I've gotten my full on floor, back handspring on beam, new ball upgrades. I don't really do bars, but it's definitely improved from being on the team. So as a freshman, I definitely didn't expect to be as good as I am right now. And I know it sounds kind of cocky saying as good, but I didn't expect to be where I am at today. But that's all thanks to my coaches and teammates for motivating me. At the end of the season, I want to get my start values up higher. Hopefully I can do that with some upgrades, but that's what I'm looking for. When I was chosen to be captain, I felt very honored. I think I worked hard for this. I've been on varsity since I was a freshman. I've tried to work really hard, and I'm just happy to be captain and happy to lead the other girls on the team.
My experience has been very, very positive. I think I've grown a lot, not only as like a gymnast, but as a person. I think I've become more outgoing like over the years. Like freshman year I was really quiet and reserved, and now like I talk to everybody, and that's really fun. Being a captain is really awesome. I like how I can kind of like help lead the team and set the pace, and you get to help everybody and see them grow, which is really cool. Okay. So I think that coming in, my beam was really, really lacking. So over the years, like every year I progressively got more and more skills. I keep on working on that. So I'm trying to add a new dismount and a new flight element before states, which is the goal for this year.
It feels really good to be captain. I think just because now I guess we can run the team the way we always thought that it should be run and kind of take on that leadership role and be there for all of the team members and have be close with everyone. It's been really great. I mean, I only do one event, so I think my best accomplishment would have been getting the 8 on vault, which is something that I didn't do last year. I've only done this year, and I've done it twice, which is a really good score for at least my vault, and I'm really proud of it. I think future goals is to do well at states and be one of the best teams there. I think that's kind of always been our goal, is to always make the better section of states and do really well there, especially compared to like a Pinkerton or a Londonderry or a Pelham. I think we just want to hold our own this year.
Wow, all of these gymnasts are extremely talented. We wish them good luck as the winter season concludes, and make sure to come show your support at their big state meet on February 15th.
And now, for a special segment of Films in a Flash, where Nina Galvez talks about the Disney universe and the hidden connection all the movies have.
Hey movie fans, and welcome to Films in a Flash. I'm Nina Galvez, and today we are talking about the infamous Disney theory. Everyone's heard of the Pixar theory, where every movie in Pixar is connected in some way and are all in the same universe. But what about Disney? Like Pixar, Disney has a tendency to put Easter eggs in almost all of their movies, all the way from the Snow White ages. They've been doing this for years. There's a big theory out there that states that all of the Disney movies are in the same universe. Crazy, right? Well, it's not as far-fetched as you think. Let's start with something simple. In the famous movie Frozen, when Anna is singing First Time in Forever, you can see Rapunzel and Flynn Rider entering the castle. You also see Tiana from Princess and the Frog and Aurora from Sleeping Beauty there as well. This means that both Arendelle, the Kingdom Entangled, Naveen's Kingdom, and the Sleeping Kingdom are all in the same universe. But it doesn't stop there. There's also a popular fan theory that Anna and Elsa's parents are actually the parents in Tarzan, so that ties in as well. That also confirms Beauty and the Beast in this universe because of the tea set scene in Tarzan. And again, doesn't stop there. Frozen also connects the Little Mermaid, as the shipwreck in it has been speculated to be the ship Anna and Elsa's parents sunk in. And this also connects to Peter Pan, because it has been confirmed that a pirate killed Ariel's mom, and it's widely speculated that the pirate is Captain Hook. This then connects to the Black Cauldron, since Tinkerbell is seen in one scene. Now, going down the rabbit hole more, the Little Mermaid is connected to both Hercules and Cinderella. The King and Duke in Cinderella are seen on the boat, and Ariel's father, King Triton, is confirmed to be by both directors and Greek mythology to be the son of Poseidon, who we see in Hercules. Now this also ties in all those stories with Lion King, because we see Scar skinned and turned into a cape. And then Lion King connects to Robin Hood because it has been confirmed as a sort of futuristic Lion King. Let's stray away from that branch for a while and talk about Big Hero 6, a futuristic Tokyo-like setting with bot fights and superheroes. How does this connect to the Disney theory? Simple. Wreck-It Ralph. In San Francisco, during an establishing shot, we see Ralph falling from his tower. And you know what Wreck-It Ralph connects to? Tangled. Have I blown your mind yet? Let's go a step further and analyze Zootopia, my favorite Disney movie, by the way. Now, there is absolutely no way that talking animals could be connected to a universe of mostly humans, right? Wrong. The weasel in Zootopia is selling literally almost all Disney movies we've talked about so far, which means Zootopia takes place in a futuristic-like scenario where humans are wiped out and they have made movies about some events.
Weaselton. Duke Weaselton.
Crazy, right? I could honestly go on forever. This theory is personally one of my favorites, and I believe it to be true. But it hasn't been confirmed nor denied, so we may never know. Anyways, that's been Films in a Flash. Have a good one, and stay curiouser and curiouser.
That is a really interesting theory. I may have to look at these movies a bit more carefully the next time I put one on.
Up next, we have Will, Connor, and Angel, who took to the halls to ask the students of SHS their favorite songs from the past 2010 decade.
Hi, I'm Will Jeffries, and today we are going to be asking people their favorite songs and albums in the 2010 decade.
Best album in the 2010 decade.
That would be Yeezus by Kanye West, my good sir.
Favorite genre?
Country.
Alright, who do you think is the next up and coming biggest artist of the 2020 decade?
I would believe that to be Lil Pump.
Who do you think has a chance to make it in the rap game in our school?
Oh, that would definitely be my friend Willpower.
Who's your favorite artist of the 2010s decade?
J. Cole.
Who are your favorite artists from the 2010 decade?
Okay, so boom, right? So we got 2 Chainz, we got Weezy, and Lil Wayne, and we got Polo G. He's more closer to the 2020s, but I think they're the best because lyrically they talk about pain. That's my favorite thing. And 2 Chainz, he has like more of a trap. He really brought trap to rap, so I like that about them.
Thank you.
It's interesting to hear everybody's favorites. Personally, my favorite song from the 2010s was Counting Stars.
Next, we continue to a segment with Robert Olms as we return to the dark world of conspiracies. He's already informed us on intriguing theories on Avril Lavigne, mattress firms, and the Mandela effect. So I can't wait to see what he's got in store for us today. This is Controversial Conspiracies.
Hello and welcome back to the Dark World of Conspiracies, and today we're going to be talking about one of the craziest conspiracies yet, and that is the Illuminati card game. Disclaimer before we begin, everything that we discuss in this video is theories and only theories, and we do touch on slight sensitive topics. Now let's begin. The Illuminati card game was created by Steve Jackson and was released in 1982. The game has ominous secret societies compete with each other and to control the world through various means, legal and illegal. But the actual cards themselves show some creepy things that will blow your mind. I would like you to keep in mind that these cards were created in 1982, and some of the events that are shown on these cards did not come into fruition till about 2 decades later. There's one card that is labeled Terrorist Nuke, and that card shows a picture of a building exploding. But the interesting part is out of every single building that they could have picked, there was a specific building that they chose to have blow up. Another card was called Enough is Enough, which is a common hashtag that is actually used to make statements about real world issues like gun violence and etc. But that isn't the focus of this card. Look at the bottom of the card and look at the picture on it, and you'll see what looks to be a screaming man. But doesn't that face look very familiar? Crazy. And there are many more cards like that. But what does this mean? Why are there cards that were made again from 1982 that are showing events that did not take place between 20 to 30 years later? And this is where the topic gets more to a conspiracy territory. The theory is that Steve Jackson, or someone who is very close to him, found out about the plans of the Illuminati for their end goal, which is the New World Order. Which, if you do not know, the New World Order is a one world government that has a select few people, aka the Illuminati, that controls the entire world. But Steve Jackson wanted to warn the people about their plans, but didn't want to do it publicly due to the fear of possibly getting silenced, aka being dead. So he created a card game with all the events that happened as the future, and just disguise it as a card game just to be able to push it to the public in hopes that in the future, when a lot of these events start rolling out, that people may notice and catch on to what's going on. Personally, I think this theory is very strong, and I honestly very much agree with this theory just because of the fact that some of the evidence and the proof holds up so well, and some of the stuff cannot even be considered a coincidence. But that's all we have, and I'd like you guys to remember to never believe everything you see.
That conspiracy really made me rethink everything. Robert really gets you thinking about the unknown possibilities behind topics others wouldn't think twice about.
Last but not least, we have our very own Juju, who is being interviewed on his collection of, well, you'll see.
All right, so tell me exactly what you collect.
Oh, I collect animatronics from pizzerias in the 80s, like Showbiz Pizza Place and Chuck E. Cheese, of course.
So what sparked that? Why do you do this?
Well, I forget how many years ago, sometime in 2013 or something, I discovered a video about this thing called the Rockfire Explosion in animatronic bands. I saw one video and ever since I was hooked. And then there was a documentary where people got a hold of these robots and they actually restored them into their full shows and like what they were before. That inspired me to try to do that myself. Some would say they're frightening, some would say they're funny. Some people are like me and just giant fans of them. Yeah. I really just have to search everywhere I possibly can. I've gotten many characters in many different ways. Everybody searches for years to find these things, and recently I've just been finding them. I've gotten about 9 in the past year.
Do you have a particular funny or interesting story about preparing or getting one of these characters?
So I went down to Philadelphia to pick up a 6-foot-tall Chuck E. Cheese that doesn't have a face. And this was my first time picking up a character. So when I got there, I knocked on some apartment door and some guy came out with an American flag on his hat, smoking a cigar and a Metallica shirt or something. And he's like, "Oh, are you here for Chuck E. Cheese?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here for Chuck E. Cheese." And we go into his apartment. It's kind of creepy. My mom was looking for exits and stuff. We go into his basement, and that's even creepier. And that was just the first layer of his basement. There was 2 more. We get to the 3rd layer, and then all of a sudden I see Chuck E. Cheese without legs and without a face, broken arm, sitting on the floor. And then all of a sudden from the other room I just hear a scream. I'm like, "What was that?" And he's like, "Don't worry about that." My mom's scared out of her mind, and I'm just like, "Yeah, make with the Chuck E. Cheese. Here's your money." So he picks up Chuck E. Cheese, walks him over to the car, kind of like piggyback rides him, shoves him in my trunk in broad daylight, and then we went back home.
What's your goal with all of this?
My goal is to just complete my show, get it back to the way it was. I don't really know what the end game here is. I just like my animatronics.
And in the end, the love you take is equal to the
I have honestly never seen anything like that collection before. Something this wild is uniquely Juju's. Thank you for joining us today for this special episode of SHS Today. I'm Jenna McDowell.
And I'm Lindsay Jones. Wishing you a great week, Salem.